Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at finding the volume and the surface area of prisms. So this is coming from CPM course 2, and this is section 9.2.4, number 9-88. So we have two prisms. So it says to find the volume of a 1 unit high layer of each prism below. Okay, so wants the volume of just as if there was 1 unit high. So that first layer, the volume of that first layer, then find the total volume and the surface area of each figure. Okay, so why does it have us do that? Because it wants us to see that every prism has a base, right? And its base, if it all had 1 unit high, then we would just say that. So that if that was 1 unit high of its height, then it would be multiply that by 10 because there's really 10 units high to get the total. So we want to figure out that first layer of volume, then multiply it by the height. Really, it's in short what we're asking for is you to find the volume of a prism, right? Volume of a prism is equal to the base area times the height, right? So B represents the base area, and that's this idea of a 1 unit high thick layer, and that then gets multiplied by the height because that's the number of layers there are. So H is the height. All right, so we first have to find that base area, what they're asking us to find. So the base area for this is this rectangle. And so finding the area of a rectangle, remember, is length times width. Length times width, or base times height. So for the area, it would be 50 times 10. That's the length times the width, 50 times 10. So that gives us 500. So that would be 500 meters squared is that area, and that's that first layer. So then to find the volume, it's the base area, right? So the base area, that 500 times the height in this case is 10 again. So the volume for this would be 5,000, and we measure volume in cubic meters, so meters cubed. Okay, so that's volume. So once I had the bottom area, now it's volume. So the other thing you want me to find is surface area, right? Surface area. Now remember, surface area is the area of each of the faces, right? So I've got this face here, plus this face here, plus then there's a back face, right? There's the back face, two back faces that we cannot physically see per se with this picture, and then the face here, and then that base there. So really, that surface area is if I'm going to paint this um, rectangular prism here. So I'm going to add up all my sides. So surface area, I'll abbreviate SA. Surface area is is the sum of all the faces, the sum of the area of the faces, right? So for this, I know I've got one already. That area down here was 500. So if that one's 500, so no, so is the top. So it's two of those, 2 times 500. And then I'm going to add that to, well, I can see that these sides are 10 by 10. So that's two 100s, right? 10 times 10. And then as well, the that was the bottom and the top. So the front face here is also a 10 by 50. So another two 500s. So I'm adding each of those. That's going to give me my total surface area. So for this, let's see, that's 1,000, 2,000, 200. So 2,000. So the surface area is 2,200, and my units is meters, and area is always squared meters. So that is the surface area. Okay. So surface area, make sure you can see that, is that volume. So the volume is 5,000. Okay. All right. This question here is a triangular prism. So one more time is we've got to figure out what this base, and the base we see is this triangle. Okay, that triangle, remember, if that's stacked on each other at this thickness of, or the height of 8, that would give me my volume of the whole thing. So what I need is I need to find the, again, volume is the base area times the height. So how do I find my base area? In this case, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Different base, right? Base area is different than the little b. And then I got to go to this triangle to figure that out. So it's base times the height divided by 2. So remember, base and height always create a 90-degree angle in a triangle. The base and height is where that 90 degrees is. And notice this little corner shows me, hey, that's 90 degrees. So that's 9 down there, that's 9 here. So really my base and my height for my triangle, my area of a triangle, is going to be 9 times 9 divided by 2. So 9 times 9 is 81. 81 divided by 2 is 40.5. So that's the area of the base. So then my volume, remember, is the base area, which I just found is 40.5, times the height, which is times 8. Okay? So 40.5 times 8 is 324. So volume is 324 for this one, and it's centimeters, and it's going to be volume, so it's cubic centimeters, centimeters cubed. Okay, surface area. Surface area for this problem is I got to add those two bases, that this base here and that base down there. So what do we know that to be? That's going to be the 40.5, two of those, two 40.5s. And I'm going to add that to, let's see, I need each of these faces. This face is an 8 by 9, and this face is also an 8 by 9. So there's two of those. 2 times 8 times 9 is 72. So each of those is 72. Then the back side, right? There's the back side. Its area, it's a single rectangle in the back. Its area is going to be 8 times, looks like 12.7. So I'm going to add all those up, multiply and add. Let's see what do I get here. Looks like 326.6, and this is squared centimeters. So my surface area is 326.6, 326 and 6/10 centimeters squared. So that's finding volume and surface area of prisms. All right, there we go.